Here we are again, finding ourselves in a situation where the Western gaming market is trying to ruin the good work of the Eastern companies. I don't really know, man. Like, this really isn't Nintendo style. I don't know if these are people being hypersensitive, but could end up very well being the case. But let's take a look at this. Nintendo of America appears to turn Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door character, into a transgender. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting, because we've seen some of these claims before, but are we dealing with the woke bros out there just trying to claim that everything that they don't like is woke and they're trying to do things to subvert our expectations? We just want a bunch of traditional values, i.e. just pedestalizing women at the center of our entertainment. And it's like, okay, you guys are just as bad as the other side you're criticizing, but it could also just be, the localizer teams, which if you take a look at the stuff that's gone on in anime over the past 6 months, perhaps this is one of those cases. Or maybe the truth is somewhere in between. The localization of Nintendo of America's Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door remake, appears to have turned Vivian into a transgender character. Now, okay, here. If you've been around for a minute, Paper Mario has been a very popular series. The first iteration was, on the N64? Kind of a spiritual continuation to Super Mario RPG, one of my personal favorite games. Oh my god, I rented the shit out of that. Never got an official copy, and I have yet to pick up the remake, which I'm very much intending to do, because I've heard and seen great things about it. But yes, Paper Mario has been a well-beloved franchise in and of itself, and the Thousand-Year Door is always highly regarded as being the best of the Paper Mario bunch. Paper Mario, the Mario and Luigi series, that in the Mario and Luigi stuff kind of take place over on the handhelds, but they've always been incredibly highly regarded, with Thousand-Year Door being right there at the top, like I said before. So for anybody to go ahead and mess around with this, well, that would definitely be a problem. That would definitely draw the ire of certain individuals, but let's take a look. Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, shared a screenshot from the upcoming game that features dialogue from Vivian saying, "Truth is, it took me a while to realize I was their sister, not their brother. Now their usual bullying feels heavier." Okay. I guess you could look at that and come to the conclusion that, yeah, okay, that sounds like some trans rhetoric, or it could be a ghost acting a fool. I'm not entirely sure what's really going on there, but I mean, cool. That's your screenshot, I guess. Okay, Nintendo of America, did you make this witch into a trans character in the remake of Paper Mario Thousand-Year Door? Vivian was a girl in the original translation. There you have it right there. Okay. Yeah, the truth is, it took me a while to realize that I was their sister, not their brother. Or is this one of those situations, right, where it just... Because here's the thing, man. Before puberty, not to get into a deep physiological conversation, but this is where all of this stuff ultimately ends up going. There's a certain innocence amongst siblings and cousins before you start to really notice and take into account physiological differences. Like, that's also a thing that's there. It could also just be a bunch of woke translators trying to ruin your games and insert their personal politics. Or it could simply be that, yeah, somebody was coming up knowing that they're a girl, but then getting the equal treatment to their brothers until it reached a point where their brothers just became something completely and totally different from their sister. Could also be the case. Like, it's not always an attack. It could end up being what it is, okay? However, as noted by YouTuber Short Fat Otaku, Dev, during an appearance on Side Scrollers, shout out Side Scrollers, the original Japanese version of the game describes the character as an otokonoko, or a femboy, basically a male who dresses up in women's clothes. Yeah, back before all of this stuff started to get a lot more in your face, there used to be classifications and categorization where drag queens weren't trying to read to your kids, and that they would just be a bunch of very confused middle-aged men playing dress up on the weekends. Kind of like Vito from The Sopranos when he was in the leather bar. It's just a joke, guys. That would be one category for spurgs, okay? And then there'd be the other guys, just equally as crazy, wearing women's undergarments underneath their business suits. Like, there's a whole spectrum of mental illness. It's not just, you don't need to be a light switch brain where it's like, okay, somebody's normal, or they're trans. It's like, it doesn't have to be that, man. You don't need to sound the alarm. You don't need to cry woke every single second of every single day. Dev explains, reading a post from Majinaki, some weeb shit, in the original party info and in the original game of Goombella's tattle log, it says that Vivian is an otokonoko, whatever, some weeb shit, an effeminate male, otherwise known as a male daughter or a femboy or a trap. And if you've been around the internet, you know one thing: traps are gay, not trans. That's a delusional headcanon. His catch card uses the same word, again, not trans. Okay, there you go. Pretty simple. Next, Deb shared the catch card, which reads, one of Mario's partners and introduced in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, a cute boy wielding fire magic who was once part of the group enemies known as the Shadow Trio. Okay. This is not the first change that Nintendo of America's localizations team made to Paper Mario: Thousand-Year Door. The game completely changed dialogue at the beginning of the game when Mario and Goombella are confronted by a number of Goombas. Which, yeah, Nintendo of America did end up changing some of the localization. They changed the name of Frogfucius in, what, at least from what I've seen in regards to the Super Mario RPG remake. I don't know why they changed his name, but they changed it, yeah, from Frogfucius to something else for no discernible reason. I was like, why would you do that? Try to appeal to China? But it's like, Confucius is still like relatively well regarded throughout history. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But when it comes to localizers ruining games and inserting personal politics, I understand why people are sensitive to this issue. I get it. I just think that you might be barking up the wrong tree on this one. The original game, the Goombas state, hey man, what's up? Who's the hottie you got there with you? What's up, baby? Why don't you hang with us for a while? We'll play real nice, man. What's a fine Goomba doing with a tubby mustache man like that? Goombella responds, oh, it's like so sweet that you boys think I'm cute. Seriously, yeah, guys, you like me. Oh, you make me feel like totally barfing. Now get out of my way. Okay. Goombas reply, ouch, that was cold. What are you, too good for us? Come off it, sister. Nobody zings us like that. Nobody lets it get them, and then a battle ensues. Okay, cool. Sounds like a perfectly, stereotypically, a Japanese confrontation, right? Like, okay. In the remake, the dialogue is completely changed. Okay, the Goombas tell Mario and his party, hey, man, what's up? I think that it's cool that you just waltz your way into our underground. Typical. You surface level snobs are so stuck up. Ooh, I get to see the sun. I like to breathe clean air. Ooh, hey, yeah, come over here, scruffy mustache man. We're going to teach you some proper manners. Like, I don't know the context of that. Like, obviously, like, that is completely different, okay? Different from the original story. And I can understand, even from the more sensitive aspect of that, they changed it so that they didn't want to have a cat-calling scene. The game be any better or worse for removing it, clearly it changes the original game, and it's going to cause some controversy over the top of it, but does it make more sense in context? I think that, the changed, even though I'm not a fan of revisionist history, don't get this twisted. I think the second confrontation, the remake confrontation, in a vacuum, without context, sounds funnier to me. You have Goombas hitting on people because they get to go see the sun. I think that's far funnier than a cat calling gone exactly how you think it would. But okay. Oh, Goombella also responds, okay, leave him alone. Can't two academics and a world-famous hero wander the sewers of the port town in peace? If this is your usual greeting to visitors, then you must have learned it down here because it stinks. It stinks. It stinks. It stinks. The Goombas retort, ouch, that was cold. So you're too good for a fight? If you ain't looking to tussle, then stay out of the sewer. Nobody doesn't start a fight with us. Nobody. Let's get 'em. The fight then takes place. Yeah, okay, if you're a purist, you're going to want the original lines as they were written, okay? And if we're being completely honest, that would definitely be a red flag that, they're trying to change some stuff that they could potentially find problematic. I would like to know if the Japanese, see if they go on to state anything about that. It doesn't appear to, but if the Japanese just has the original catcalling scene in it in its remake, well, that would be very interesting. But this all comes as Nintendo of America has a number of job listings for localizers that require an awareness of culturalization and DEI related topics. Which, yeah, there you go. There's another red flag that's right there. When listing for Nintendo of America career page for a localization production specialist located in Redmond, Washington. Well, you should already know that Washington's a problem. Notes that one of the duties of the position is to have an awareness of culturalization and DEI-related topics. The duty is 9th on an 18 bullet points under localization duties of the position. Most of the other bullet points do seem innocuous and related to positions such as translates game text, graphic assets, voice scripts, marketing materials, supplementary development, and testing related documents and materials as required to support products and services throughout the launch and beyond. Another bullet point reads, plays pre-production software in Japanese and communicates and clarifies developers' intent through text translation with collaborations of other team members. So yeah, red flag at least, or this just could be the encroaching mind virus coming to take your games. But I think that going full bore against this, yeah, they changed something. Does it overall change the intention of the game? Does it overall ruin your experience? Probably not. Does it sound like the little Vivian character is much ado about nothing? Yeah, kind of, especially with full context over the top of it, but it's definitely something to pay attention to. And as more translations, as more remakes get announced from Nintendo, because as much as they're putting out new and unique content, even though it is a continuation of many of their franchises, they're going to continue to do this stuff. And, paying attention to any monumental changes, well, it's also going to be important, because holding these companies accountable is exactly what you need to do. Even if you think they have a good enough track record, like Nintendo, gotta be honest, you gotta be fair across the board. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.